Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me here on the Bigfoot Outlaw Network. This is Psychic Development with Inbaal, and I could not be happier to see you on here. Trying to play a little bit with how I'm sitting um, in the screen, but no, we'll just have to go with what we've got. Fabulous, fabulous. To anyone joining for the first time or anyone joining for the second time and forgotten who I am, my name is Inbal. I'm a psychic, tarot reader, and witch, and I'm here with psychic development content every week. This is the final show of 2025. So I hope we're all on board with that. Let me see if there's something else I can do. Wait. What can I do? Oh, there we are. I found it. There we go. Now we can see all of me. Right. Thank you for bearing with me while I figured out how to broadcast the right way. So I normally deal with psychic development, tarot astrology, and the like. But as this is the final show of 2025, I thought what would be super, super fun for me is to look at manifesting and whatever you want to manifest for 2026. You can talk about what you'd like to manifest. We can talk about how to make it happen. You can get me to sort of check in my cards whether you're going to manifest that thing that you want. So let's just get the ball rolling. We've got a few messages already, and let's have a little look. First of all, we've got a message from Grizz, who runs this channel, and he says you can support me by sending stars. Stars help me earn money to make more content. We've got a message from Marcus. Hi, saying good evening, Inbal. Hope that you're okay. Good evening, everyone else. Please remember to like and subscribe so you know when Inbal and others are on. Almost you'll very, very almost. In fact, if you like your astrology, I think it's important for you to know that the shadow period of the Mercury retrograde is over today. Finally, at long last. I don't know if you're big on the Mercury retrograde, but this one absolutely wiped the floor with me. Bazin Brahim saying hello. Great to hear from you. And Roger is here saying howdy, and Belle. Howdy, Roger. How are you this very fine festive season? Texting in, messaging in from YouTube. Sonali Santana is saying you're the best. Thank you. And saying you can say hi to me. Hi, Sonali. And messaging from the phone saying, what's your day? I'm having, I'm having a day. Let's say it like this. I am having a day for certain. Dal is saying hi, everybody. Hi, Dal. Marcus is in mourning, saying, no, it can't be the final show of 2025. So upset. But we know you are back in 2026. And of course, you and Laura are here Thursday morning. That is very true. So I've got one more show for the year, which is my show with the marvelous Laura Dallaghan. So we're going to be doing the final show for us at all for 2025 on Thursday. So if you're in the UK, it'll be 11:30 in the morning. If you're in New York, I think it's like 6:30 in the morning. And if you're like in California, it's literally the evening before. So what I want to manifest for my 2025 for my 2026 is really a lot more of the same. I've had a spectacular year. I've had so much work, so much exposure, so much like incredible business directions. I got loads of press. I had sort of beautiful new students come on my tarot course. I had lots of wonderful face-to-face readings on the professional side, and in the family, touch wood, everything was wonderful. And this year I went to America for the very, very first time, and I've just had a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful 2025. So 2026, I would like to manifest more of the same, but my little goal is making my dreams come true. So I'm trying to think of like a really good affirmation. I've got a couple of weeks to think about it, but I'm trying to think of a really good affirmation for 2026. Every year I give myself like a little motto, and it carries me throughout the year. And I love for that motto, for that manifesting, to be like really bombastic, not hold anything back. So if you want to manifest sort of a new home, then you request like an incredible palace with with 4 entryways and a car park for like 16 Rolls Royces. It doesn't have to be stuff that you actually know or that you actually expect to happen, but getting into the mindset of manifesting has got to be sort of epic, has got to be sort of bombastic. Dal is wishing everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone. Happy New Year to you. Tia BA is saying hi, great to see you again. Mark says, I actually have to admit, I've not got the foggiest what I would want to manifest. I mean, my health is okay. My books are on the way. So I can't think of anything strange. I know. Well, you're in the same position as me, just sort of more of the same, for things to sort of keep going exactly the way that they're going. So you could go with, with a bombastic affirmation like, I would like to stay on my true path, or I would like to remain on my golden path. If you want to make it, you want to make it really epic. Oh, look who's here, Lucien. Mwah. We're talking about, sorry, I'm just reaching for my coffee. Sorry for the extreme close up. We're talking about manifesting for 2026. So whatever your goals are, whatever your dreams are, we're trying to think of like new affirmations that will encompass those dreams. And I tend to do 9 affirmations a day, every day. I would like to read them 3 times a day. It's the 9, the 3. That's the kind of magic I like. I like to read them 3 times a day, but actually I know for myself that it's like virtually impossible for me to remember to do anything 3 times a day. So I start the morning, as soon as I wake up, I read them 3 times, and that's me done. And those affirmations, usually, like, I'll change them every once in a while, sometimes voluntarily, sometimes not so voluntarily. The last time I changed them, somebody, I think, sort of broke into my diary. They were like on my, what do you call it, on my diary, and I think my diary connected with like the family diary, which it was never meant to, so I didn't know how to disconnect it. And I think somebody from the family diary deleted all my affirmations, so I had to recreate a whole new set just a couple of weeks ago, and I'm not right happy with the whole new set, but it's better than nothing. So I like for the 9 affirmations to be divided into 3 topics, so that you've got like 3 of 3, so that 3 of them will be about work, 3 of them will be about the family, 3 of them will be about health, and it kind of changes. Marcus says, evening, Lucian. Hope all is good, sweet. And Lucienne says, for me, it's vibrant, grounded health and business success. Love that for you. And also, I was just saying before you came in how I think it's really beneficial to express, to kind of describe your affirmations in really bombastic terms. So you're not sort of going for good health, you're going for vibrant, grounded health. Do you know what I mean? So that is exactly the kind of thing that I mean, that you sort of go for, a successful path, but kind of beyond your wildest dreams. So overexpress it. She says, no, too bad. And you all, yeah, it was one of my babies, one of my children had a like a procedure today, like a little surgical procedure. So I was in hospital all day. But it was great, and they took really good care of us, and he was an absolute trooper. And then I got home and we lit our Hanukkah candles, which is, always an amazing moment of grounding. And I went for my run, and I've got some really interesting work afterwards. So it's certainly been a day. It's certainly been a day. I don't want to complain, because spending a day on a children's ward makes you acutely aware of people that spend more than a day on a children's ward. When he was sort of coming to from the anesthetic, he was in a bed next to a cot where there was a baby coming to from an anesthetic. So, there are people who are coping with much, much, much more challenging times than me. So I wouldn't complain at all, but it's certainly been a day. Marcus says, yeah, I'm grand, thanks. Wee bit tired, but good otherwise. Yet you were on your way to sleep when I finally decided to get myself together and press the go live button. Lucienne says, oh, darling, loving blessings to all. Mwah, 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 mwah. And she says, I hear you. Yeah, it's so sobering, so sobering. Mark says, even though he had to have a procedure, it still sounds like it was a nice day at the end. Those children's wards are mad. I know from the past. Yeah, because it was like super, super, super Christmassy. There were like there was like one corridor that was so covered in like fairy lights. It looked like, one of those garden center displays that charge like a tenner even just to go in. And another part of the ward had like Christmas poems handwritten and tacked to the walls. All the nurses were in Christmas uniform. They literally get issued with Christmas uniform with like prints of gingerbread men and candy canes. And in a weird way, it made the whole thing more surreal, more, because you look around, there's all this festivity, and it's literally a children's ward. But no, he was an absolute trooper, and it's always adorable to have like one-on-one time, whatever the circumstances. Mark says, I was indeed on my way to sleep, but you know me. I know. So when we got back, it was like 7 p.m. and I rang my dad to sort of, give him the whole lowdown. And he was like, okay, so you go to sleep and I'll go to sleep and everything is going to be okay. And I was like, I was like, you're kidding. We still got to light the candles. I've got to go on a run, come back from a run, have a shower, do my show, and I've got like a job afterwards. Luciane says, I was going to say really surreal. Yeah, I think for you as an artist, it would probably sort of hit you in places in your brain that I don't even understand. I can see that it's surreal, but I can't like rebuild it. Do you know what I mean? Into something like artists can. But yeah, it would have probably been incredibly interesting for somebody, with that kind of ability. Daldell says, I wasn't feeling all that great this morning, so I saved and everything cleared up. It's important to keep your aura cleared. That's amazing. I'm so proud of you that you had a day and decided that you're going to have like a great day. Have you got, and this is really sort of for all of us because, you know, everybody goes through tough times. Have you got like a little go to technique? Have you got like a strategy that maybe you want to share with a group? So when we have those days, those hospital days, which over the past sort of month and a half we've been like approximately once a week, but my go-to for clearing the energy is, I think, so unspiritual, but I just sort of find it really important to laugh. So I'll be like, you know, do you want mommy to invent a game? And then, you know, my game would definitely have like bad words in it that he knows he's not even allowed to know those bad words, but it makes him laugh. Or the game would have like bums in it or something like that. So I made up 2 games today that we played. They were brilliant. One I can definitely not share with you, and the other one I don't remember. But yeah, they've been woo. Luciane says, my art has been flowing out of me the last couple of weeks. It's wonderful to be in this space again. Oh, I'm so happy because for the first half of the year, you were, you know, you were searching for that space. And here, you know, and here you are. You've made the changes, you've made the necessary changes, and you know, and it's all jumping out of you. That's amazing. Dal says saging is my go-to. That's wonderful. So I think that is like a really, really good piece of advice because saging engages all of your senses, doesn't it? It's something that you do. You see it, you smell it, you can kind of taste it, you can even hear it. And so it cleanses all of you and also everything around you. That is quite beautiful. We've got a question from Aisha who says, Ahmed Azim, what did he feel for me today after he spoke to me? I told him my paper didn't get accepted. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Do you see any emotional deep connection to me? Let's have a look between Ahmad and Aisha. How did he feel? He felt uncertain, but not for the reason you think it is. He felt like maybe you're not really ready for, say, a big commitment because he thought, wow, you're so into your studies, you're so into like creating your future that he was thinking maybe she's not really looking for a man to complete her, which, you know, of course you're not. You're looking for a man to be by your side, not for somebody that will provide, you know, anything that's lacking in you. There's nothing lacking in you. So he feels as if maybe you're not particularly interested. So it's really sort of on you to keep the communication going, to keep the conversation going, so that he has a sign from you that you would like to keep the connection, that you would like to keep the conversation going. Mark says, I'm by myself from the 22nd to the 31st of this month, literally locked away, so I can ground myself and meditate, paint, and other stuff to remove BS from 2025, ready for 2026. There is something really magical, isn't there, about the actual sort of festive period, the whole way from, you know, from exactly the dates that you're saying. So you're from solstice to New Year's Eve, you've got all the time to experience sort of the change of energies and the focus and the direction that you want to go. So that is, I think, like an incredible way to spend it. And actually, I had a couple of Christmases like that where I used to live in share houses and then people would go back home for Christmas It's not that I didn't have a home to go back to, but none of my relations celebrate Christmas, um, so I would sort of stay in London in an empty house, and it was incredible. For me, it was, I'd mostly sort of work and or meditate or both, but it really sort of prepared me for the year ahead. And I remember one New Year's Eve, because I never go out New Year's Eve. Um, one New Year's Eve, I think it was like the Office, like the original Office, the British Office, had its finale, and it was broadcast. I think New Year's Eve, was it the night before New Year's Eve? It was sort of definitely, in the olden days when people would sit in front of their TVs, and I was transferring my client list into a real newsletter, my first newsletter, and those kind of 50 addresses that I passed on my clients list are still part of my 1,000 people that are on my newsletter now. That would have been, I don't know, like 23, 24 years ago, and it was incredible. Mark says, when I say locked away, I mean I only visit the shop for milk and bread. Just to make it clear, I will be locking my gate and door and only answer my phone. Yeah, I didn't think you were going into incarceration, heaven forbid. Lucianne's methods are sage, clapping, and bells for cleansing. I love that. I love clapping in corners, bells in corners. There's such a chewiness almost to noise when you use it for cleansing. Every once in a while, not that often, but I'll do like home cleansings, like for houses that have like stuff in them, and the clapping in corners, equivalent to bells in corners, is so effective in just sort of moving things along. Absolutely love that. Lucianne says a card pull would be appreciated about how to go forward and put my work out there. Let's have a look. Card pull on how to go forward and put your work out there. So you've got your 2026 goal. So first of all, it says, use what you have, use the connections you have, use the friends you have, use the events that you already go to, see if they'll give you a table. So first, use what you have. Secondly, walk into spaces, occupy spaces as if you own them. Walking into anywhere with the vibe that says, I belong here, goes a long way. And finally, and this is very hard for me to say, but for the first 6-7 months, be really okay with not making any profit at all. So for the first 6-7 months, while you build a stronger kind of professional social circle, you could find yourself either sitting at an event with no sales, or running a Facebook feed with no sales. The sales will come, but you have to be really, really okay about spending that time building the business before any substantial profit comes forward. So I hope that helps. Colleen is here saying late, but here. I was a little late too. Marcus is saying evening call, and Two Reachers is saying, if I'm reading it right, saying this is my first time chatting here. I think very, very welcome. We are talking about manifesting. What do you want to manifest for 2026? We're doing some card pulls. Oh, no, we don't want that in the front. No, we don't want this one in the front either. Oh, okay, that's a bit better. We're doing some card pulls. if you've got any questions, and coming up with affirmations and ideas and goals. Two Reachers says, how are you? I'm okay, coping. Marcus says, blow it. Go on then. Pull a few cards, please. Let's blow it together. So, few cards for you. Right. Do you know what it shows? Actually, quite a similar thing to what came up for Lucienne. And I wonder whether it has to do with Jupiter in Cancer for the first half of the year. So the planet of luck and wealth is in the home loving sign of Cancer for the first 6 months of the year. And then it switches to the more public facing sign of Leo, and that changes the vibe completely, because you've got very similar cards that say, you've got to start things. So throughout 2026, for the first 6 months, I see one release per month. And 2026 will start with those releases, but then it brings up kind of a disappointing yield for the few months that follow. So same as Lucienne, don't be disheartened. Put it out as if you're a millionaire that's putting it out for now, just because that's what he fancies doing. Put it out generously, put it out magnanimously. If you've got to put out some of them at like 1 penny sale value, do it. The sales will come with time. Luciane says, I'll be patient and focused then. Thank you. Thank you. And from Facebook, Natalie Mello says, good evening, beautiful souls. My first time watching. Love this. I love that you love it. This is the final one of these for 2025, but I will be back 2026. January 6th, I want to say, something like that. Rhea is saying, I call it spiritual disruption. I think disruption is a real constant within the spiritual world, isn't it? Oh, and Roy says, hi, Inbaal, why can't we watch rewinds of the lives on Instagram anymore with the sad face? I know, I'm very sad too. Let me show you. So after sort of going live, before, I used to be able to go on Instagram to my archive, and all my lives would be there, and I used to be able to share it. Ooh, and then I wasn't able to share it anymore, but I think I might be able to share it now. Right, you can expect look at that, your message is there. Right, you can expect some of them to be uploaded very shortly. But yeah, there was a couple of months that that the share function on the archive wasn't working for me. So hopefully that changed. I just didn't check on it because I didn't think, it would be updated during the Mercury retrograde or the shadow period. But thank you for asking, Roy. Hopefully I'll be able to upload. Luciane says, good groundwork a must then. It's not just that it's a must. Literally nothing can happen without the good groundwork. And it's not just good groundwork in the physical. It's good groundwork in the astral, where you present yourself to the universe as a creatrix, business owner, and and sacred trader. And the universe has to accept your application to be that, and then it starts rolling things your way. Colleen says, do you think my rescue will grow with community support? That is a very good question. Grow with community support, grow without community support, or not? Definitely it will grow with community support. It says that there's one big cheerleader. It's a lady. She's local, not close, but same kind of state. And she will take your kind of goals and share them with others. And thanks to her, you'll be able to achieve a lot more than you can alone, and a lot more than you think is realistic. Keep things unrealistic. Keep things bombastic. Marcus says, thanks as always, sweetie. By the way, 1 per month was the plan. I have plans we'll discuss later. Amazing. Look who we've got here, everyone. It is Bigfoot Outlaw favorite and singing superstar Tor James Faulkner saying, "Kui, mana mana." And he says, maybe Tor back in 2026 too? Maybe. I mean, it would be amazing if it happened. Shall we start a little conga line? Shall we start a little petition to bring back Predict the Week? What are you guys doing on a Monday? Marcus says, isn't it interesting how many artistic people different ways of art? I never realized until now. It's a lot. I think the creative community and the psychic community share a natural affinity, first of all, but also for me, I've always really admired creative people. I have a lot of talents. Unfortunately, creativity is not one of them. And while we're on the subject, no, I'm not sharing what my many talents are. And when I'm around creative people, I kind of follow them around in awe. I'm so amazed. For me, sort of people that can create art. It's like magic. It's like inexplicable to me. So I seek out those friendships. I love creative people. I love interesting people. Marcus says, mentioning artist, Tor turns up. I hope you and Mr. Man are good. I've already requested a Tor return on a Monday. It's true. Tor. Tor comes onto the show to troll the host, saying, she lying, she very creative. She helped me write 2 of my hits. Just to be clear, we're talking about 2 brain farts that your, supreme creative brain was able to utilize in a creative way. Tor says, and has a great ear for if a song is good. Do you know, I love the marketing aspect. I do. I love sort of figuring out if something has like super hit potential. Marcus says, we can't even ask what your party trick is. No, I'm not going to say. Tor James Faulkner says, thank you, Mark. Lucianne says, I'm looking for recommendations for a detailed astrological chart. Any thoughts? I follow a girl I like a lot called Ashley. She's called Ashley Murray, but I think she's got like a middle name. Let me see if I'm missing Ashley. I'll send her to you. Are we friends on Insta as well? We are, aren't we? Let me find Ashley. Sorry, things got moved around on my screen. Ashley. Where is she? Ashley Murray. Sarah Ashley Murray. I knew I was missing one of the names. Triple names always confuse me. So I'm sending you, share this profile. Lucian. Time for Change 23, right? I'm sending it to you. Tell her you're my friend. But yeah, she's good on the big charts. She's one of those people that just sort of knows where all the planets are all the time. Um, Taurus says, sending all the love to everyone. Mwah! Says, gotta run. I need to get the ADHD zoomies out. It's a perfect time for it at 5 to 11 at night. We are, yeah, I wasn't sure. I know that we're friends on the other one. Told James Fogness to see you all soon. Wink, wink. Here's manifesting. Thank you. Yep. Right. Amazing. And Marcus goes, freaking love the owls over your left shoulder on the shelf. These guys, yeah, they're fabulous. So we've got these guys and those guys are stone owls. We've got there some blue ones, and there's some blue ones with kind of like a Dutch China theme, and this owlie, look at it. And as it happens, we're starting to get close to the end. So I would like to thank everyone. Oh, no, I'm going to do one question. Sorry, I saw a question come in. I thought, no, I started closing down, so I'm going to keep closing down, but it's actually from Dal Dal, so I'm not going to keep closing down. And it says, do you see all my manifestations coming in 2026? All of them or some of them? It's literally all of them. Add more while you're at it. All your manifestations are coming true in 2026, bar none. There are things that you're kind of on the fence about, that you're not sure whether you want to manifest or not. Do it. Throw it in. Everything that you're wanting right now is coming anyway. So we are closing down for the year. We will reopen the first week of January, and I will look for you there. I've got some very exciting guests that will be coming along with us. And I cannot wait to see all of you in the new year. Have an incredible festive season. I hope everything happens that is lucky for you, and that you find lots of good things under the tree if you have one. From me to yours, have a fabulous, fabulous Christmas and New Year.